Hey FH, good morning, man. How are you? I'm great, thanks, man. Uh, um, the 393 area down below. I'm watching to see if I can come down there and revisit for a long 393 or 380 somewhere. So anything above VWAP pretty much, as long as we hold the VWAP. 390s, yeah. So 393 through 382, anywhere in that area, as long as it holds, we'll look for a long back um into this supply area or resistance. 420, 415. What about you, man? See if they get a dip. If they don't, I have to buy higher. Oh, okay, nice. What are you in right now? A long, I'm assuming, from last week, or a short from earlier? Hey, good morning, Frank. Oh, nice. Break even. 550, not bad. Very good. Or below 700, 700. Nice. That's a great spot to be in. Good spread there. A really good spread. You got room to hold it. When's it expire? Next week? It's still ramping pretty well. How violent that flush was. Yeah, I mean, if you took advantage of that flush and you went in when it dipped, I mean, that was the buying opportunity for sure. It happened last time, a dip like this, or like dip like the end of the day yesterday. Last time we had an FOMC meeting, a very similar. I have to buy some here, man. I'll probably just have to have a wide stop for now. Call walls should be updated now too. I'll buy small and then I'll end up buying more lower, because seems like we might just go the ramp. Yeah, it's a good spot to be in when it inverts too much in one direction. Not bad. Not a bad spot. It's a great opportunity to take advantage of for sure. I feel like it happens mostly during an event like yesterday. Yeah, they're coming down now. I bought it too early. If they hold this little microstructure from the open, I'll probably just tighten up the stop and then take it, add more. If they can reclaim here like the 407, 408, and I'll just tighten up the stop and make that a trade for now for like a breakout, but you got a lot of work to do for that to happen. They need a bid right here around the 400s. If it gets above like 406, 407, I'll buy more. And then tighten up the stop to this low right here at 399 or so. NQ keeps going, bro. It just keeps on ripping here. I'm gonna buy more here. And then I'll tighten up in a little bit. Here it is, it's coming. 406. Okay, I'll tighten them up now on this little pop. So, hey, when it does that. Auto center. So we can tighten up here and I'll tighten up the stop. Yeah, this looks about right. 20. There we go. Okay. I just like the performance of the NQ. I might just, in most instances, I keep saying this, but I might be better off just long the NQ in this situation here. Because the NQ seems to be doing a lot better. It's not giving up any of it right now. Pretty impressive strength, honestly. I'll tighten up the stop right here. Let this kind of be its own structure for now. Scale near the high where that we rejected yesterday, and then scale and then see if it holds. Which one is doing an alert? It's kind of annoying. This one? Oh. I got scaled out there. Which one is doing the alert? I don't like it when it does that. 415 scale. I scaled only a 2. I might scale one more just because it is, I'm not really a fan of. There you go, scale one more. It's this one? Oh, it's none of these here. Is this one? The long is again just a continuation. It's because of that strength on the strength on the NQ is the reason I went long. and I wanted to see reclaim 406, and again we went. The little reclaim is right here. I can't draw it. Let me see. I gotta do this. Where is the drawing arrow? So this little, right here, the little reclaim of this little spot right there. You can see it's a current value low. It's like a small time frame long, essentially, favoring the upside move. We look at the NQ. Yeah, that's the reason I was trying to go long. I think I might have to consider going or shorting or going long NQ at some point in the future, because it's just cleaner. In some instances, not many, but in this instance, I said I think it's just cleaner to go long the NQ. And it certainly did that. Look at New York Open, just long the open and went straight into the prior value high. And it's gonna probably try to test that prior day high at 28K. So in some scenarios, it's making more sense for me to just long the NQ or short the NQ. So I might have to do that in the future. Yeah, it allows more fluid. Yeah, 100%. It's just trying to eyeball. I guess not eyeball, but it's trying to discern when those moments are right. And in this moment, I could tell the NQ was easier. I mean, I can clearly see that it was holding up a lot better. So it's not always the case, but in some instances, it makes the most sense to do that. And so I think I'm going to start kind of leaning in that direction. Probably smaller size just to test it out, because it's been a while since I've touched the NQ. I can long it with more conviction on the NQ. I can size that and be like, I know where the invalidation is super tight, because I know where I'd want to cut it if it fails, and the failure is very close to the entry. So the risk reward is cleaner, I guess I should say. Yeah, okay. I'm just down to 2 right now. This could be an open drive, but I'm not sure yet, so I'll just we'll see. The big area here, 25s. If it comes straight to 30s, call wall, and then after that, the power value high. Two lots. If this is an open drive, there's going to be an opportunity to add to this trade at some point. I don't know when, but probably within the next hour at least. We'll see. This is a big supply area, so I don't want to see it fail. You want to see 420s hold at minimum 410. The overnight high area, 410s hold. NQ's ripping. What is going on with NQ? It's the chips and Mag 7 are ripping in tandem. I think because of Microsoft earnings. Yeah, look at this thing. I'm not sure if yeah, you're in FH. I'm working on it. I don't want to put it out yet, but I'm working on this reclaim indicator. This is what you see right now, the little boxes. A reclaim indicator that highlights the support and reclaim. And it removes them and then adds a new one if a new one becomes available. Looks like I got a classification. Open auction on the NQ. What are the triggers? It's based on a open test drive. Yeah. Interesting. Let me fill this out. Give me this. Yeah, it's a short indicator. Very interesting. Give me a sec, because it's above you up. So where's the priority? Give me a moment. Sorry, I'm looking at. Um, was it hard to make? Yeah, it's taken a while. I don't put I have a lot of stuff in a bunch of other screens that I don't put on my main screen that you guys see on YouTube because I'm usually working on it. I don't put it out until it's good enough to show. So that one I've been working on it for a little while. It's pretty good. I mean, it gave me this support area, this one right here, from 7319 to 737 from as we closed right into it yesterday. And that level was there for like a few weeks. So I would say yes, that's a massive squeeze. I'm going to take profit on that. Is that the call wall? Oh, the call wall's right there. So this area right here, this support, it says A+. This A+ area was given to me 2 weeks ago, and it lined up with the prior month violator low, so I liked it. It hit it right into the close today, or yesterday, sorry. Oh, really? No way. Huh. Well, if you ever have an idea, you can toss it over to me. I can try to make it for you. You know, let me know your criteria, and I can kind of tinker with stuff. Yeah, it's a clean indicator. I have different time frames for it, and then on the NQ, it works really well too. Actually, let me. It's gives you a good supply area right there. Supply at 28K and a half, and then another one there. Oh, I'm open to do it, man. Here's a supply area, support area on NQ. So, it does a pretty good job, I would say. I mean, it's only been testing it for a few weeks, and so far it's given me some pretty good spots to work with. Almost ready to go live with it. I'll share it once I will share it with you if you want. I can send it to you now. Happy to do that. If you want, I can email it to you and then you can test it out. And then once I update it, I can let you know. I can email it to you right now. Give me a sec. I'm gonna end up updating stuff over the weekend, so I'll give you the updated one once I do. Once I do have it. Where is data? That was a squeeze right into call wall. I scaled right there. I'm kind of happy about that. Scaling right into that squeeze. How do I... In data, right? Let's go, yeah. It hits the call wall too, you know? Oh, where is the study? What folder is it in? Not in data? Oh, I found it. Never mind. I just sent it to you. Yeah, it was, I think it was in data. I sent it right now. You should get it. The thing you have to know is that, so you can add it to another trade, another account, but you have to, I'll email you I'll email you what I have on mine. Because there's some settings you do have to adjust on it. I'll send you a screenshot as a follow-up as to what I have. That way you can just, instead of me having to explain it right now, you don't have to remember it later. The last 3 boxes you have to modify something. This is my 2 out. There you go. I sent you a screenshot with the settings that I have. It's kind of intrusive right now, the way it's the way the indicator shows up on the chart. So that's what I'm gonna work on removing or adjusting, because you can see right now it's kind of like in the way. So I typically don't use it like a main chart that I look at all the time, because it just gets in the way. It just gets in the way. So I use it just to I use it on not a main chart that I'm gonna be staring at, so to speak, because it is. I'm gonna figure out a way to make it more transparent so it looks a little faint. Yeah, glance for reference, exactly. Yeah, it's a better way to say what I was trying to explain. And then so I'm working on another version of it. So once I get it remade more transparent, I will. You know what? I think you got the updated version. I updated it last night, but I haven't updated it on my computer. And it says here, the update says solid for the field, light. So you can so there will be settings now on the drop down. You can actually set their settings now. Mine doesn't have it yet because I updated it last night. I didn't change it on my end. But there's settings now. There will be a solid, light fill, or edges only option right above these boxes right here. And so you'll have new settings that I don't have yet on my screen, on my chart. I gave you the updated version from last night that I didn't get to try. I'll check it out this later today, and then I'll adjust from there. But yeah, I have a few indicators that I have on Sierra that I've made, but I look at it for sure. Yeah, check it out. I think the higher time frame one for sure, like 2 hour and 15 minute. Those are the only 2 options really. They're really useful, I think, for finding a good support area or zone if it's been a while that we've traded. It takes into account volume traded, time spent, tests, and how many reclaims or failed breakdowns occurred at that zone. You can actually look, if you wanted to see the metrics of it, it's right here. Instead of going compact, you take it down, put full, it'll give you the metrics. And these levels are generated via different kinds of metrics, and they're all grading it depending on those metrics. So support, it'll flip to reclaimed or supply depending on where we are. Prices above or below it, it'll automatically switch. The dwell, it means how much time was spent at the zone. Sorry, how much volume was traded at the zone compared to how much time was spent. So, for example, yesterday, there's 91% of the volume was traded in the 5.8 hours we traded at the 93 area yesterday. It's a massive level because of that, and so it gets a higher rating. And then same thing with this one here, the support at the bottom. So it gets graded based on a few metrics: time spent, volume transacted, and the impulse move out of the zone. The bigger the impulse, the higher the grade. So it'll give you more or less like how. So for example, this chart here, it's graded based on real sentiment. Yeah, exactly, based on real sentiment. So this one's an A+, but the one right below is an A-, and that's because the impulse move away from it was very weak compared to the one right here at 30s that we came from last night. So it's slightly graded a little lower because of that impulse. The volume and the dwell were about the same, but the impulse was relatively smaller. And so if you were to see the full version, it would tell you the breakdown as to why that level is graded lower. So it's like, it's not just a supply or demand box that you draw because a bunch of candles intersect, but rather it's dissecting a zone and giving you valuable insight that you're not going to get unless you dissect that range over a volume profile, a time-based profile, plus a rate of change indicator. So it's doing 4 different things at once, which is really useful. Instead of just drawing a box and be like, okay, price traded here, bounce, reacted, this is a level. It's putting an x-ray to that zone and giving you a metric or a grade. A lot of traders are going to want it. I don't know if I'm going to share it, to be honest. I'll consider it, but I don't think I'll share it. I might just discuss it on the newsletter and reference it, and then on stream, but I don't know if I'll share it yet. I might not. This has been pretty straightforward day. It just ramped. We'll see if it hits that 57 area. I mean, 63 is the current week value low. If it just goes all the way to current value low, that's an insane move. From one value to the next. Hi. Yeah, pretty clean day. I don't recall a day. We haven't had a trade a trend. Oh my god, a trend day like this in a while. I mean, your put you sold is probably gonna print pretty well if this holds until the end of the week. So, actually, the one thing I forgot to tell you, make sure you take off the alerts on it because it does have alerts and it's really annoying, especially if you have it on a small time frame. So you go to alerts tab, make sure you alert only once per bar if you want it, or just completely disable it. As a default, it has it on, which is kind of annoying. Last night it was like going off. was like, what the fuck's going on? My phone's like going, my phone's vibrating nonstop. I'm like, oh, it's the indicator. Do you know how to, do you have set up alerts to trigger your phone? So like Sierra alerts to trigger on your phone? Not on Sierra? I set it up, but you have to use this app called Nifty Trading View. So you can do it on Sierra. You have an app called NFTY. And you can register it there, and it'll send you alerts. Whatever alerts you get on Sierra, they'll go to your phone. Yeah, I think I may have a here, I can probably share the give me a FR close literally at the highs. Yeah, that's insane. I can probably give you a prompt. You can put in to set up that alert thing if you want. Can you give me a prompt I can copy and paste to share so that they can set up Nifty or push notifications on their Sierra platform? Yeah, I email it to you right now. There you go. Yeah, I think the NQ hit its target. That current weak value or low. That's probably where I was running into. Let's see. I don't have it on this chart because it hit that area and then it's kind of slowed down now. I think that was the target for the NQ. Might get a little pullback now. Oh wait, no, it went from value low to value high. Okay. Yeah, I finished the auction. I mean, look at it. NQ went from value low to value high, from one value area to the next. I think that's where it's gonna finish for now. Here to here, from one side of the auction to the next. Pretty explosive move, but it did it pretty well. It's also the call wall. Look at that. The big area. Yeah, yeah, it is. Look at that. Options levels. It's another stacked options level. Yeah, it's the gamma flip and the call wall. So it's definitely an area that needs to that's good for a rejection right there. It has been below the flip for a few weeks now. It somehow manages to flip positive on the day or week. The gamma, that'd be a change in structure or regime for the NQ, because it's been consistently below the gamma. It's been a negative gamma for a few weeks, and the regime, and well, I mean, the running joke has been, how much is NQ gonna puke today, right? So I think if the structure shifts, that regime shifts on the NQ, I think we have a great setup into trend dip buying into the next week. High gamma for both sides, largest net call. Yeah, I mean that's pretty stacked. And also, like, when you have a high OI like that, it does create some sort of pinning pinning, I would assume. That's a lot of hedging that has to come in for those call and for that large call volume. But it's good. It's a good thing. That's dip buying coming in. To some degree, it's putting a floor, an artificial floor, on the NQ on that dip buying. But the true floor is when the regime actually shifts. Yeah, it could halt. Yeah, I think, like, here's the thing. Like, what I've noticed is that when I have a weekly report that gets pulled for the OPEX week, and when the GEX exposure is over a certain nominal figure, and we're getting closer to that OPEX expiration, there's a high chance of a pin. And then the moves happen. The pin, once it's released, once that expiration is over, the move then happens thereafter. That pinning action's over. It happens to even individual stocks too. That pinning action happens. If you review the chains for any front months, you can see where there's the maximum amount of energy building. Yeah, exactly. It's like all that options volume is creates like a, I don't know what to call, like a vortex in price, where it just like mean reverts from high and low. And then once that high open interest is gone, it gets unpinned the following week or two until the next set of open interest starts to form in the following month. So it's like liberated or unchained for a few weeks while new volume builds on the chain, on the options chain. Which reminds me, I need to look at one thing. I need to run this one here. It's fascinating, just layers of data. Oh yeah, it's really amazing. Honestly, it's kind of annoying because like the more you learn, the more you realize you don't know. You don't know shit. Yeah, it is actually. Because when I started learning about regimes, I'm like, fuck, this is that, dude. There's too much here, man. What's going on? Like, why is there so much always at play? When I started looking into like gamma exposure and different regimes, it's a lot of information. Yeah, the last 6 or 9 months, you realize you don't know shit. Yeah, same here. It kind of sheds light on what's going on the background that we're not aware. I wasn't aware of before. You know, that's like in a subtle way affecting the structure of price and the way it forms or plays out. I guess I should say the way it plays out. All right, man, I'll see you in a bit. I'm gonna end up scaling here at the call wall. All right, we'll call it a print there. The regime says to scale at the walls, so that's the wall right there. I'll scale there based on that. Yeah. The structure here on the report says to scale at the wall, so I'm scaling at the wall and then see what else it does after, but I don't want to fight the structure it tells me to do, so might as well scale there. I might get it late. I think we have more earnings reports today after the bell, I'm sure, right? Let's see. Apple, Amazon, yeah, pretty big ones. Apple and Amazon. I scaled there. I think that was a great idea because price is already fading out. Yeah, the journal says their scale at the walls. So we'll do that. Yeah, we'll go from there. $7.20. Oh, we got NQ and positive gamma. Look at that. Actually getting above the gamma flip for the first time. That's good. $7.377. That report's ready to view. Yeah, I think that scale to call wall might have been the best decision there. I think prices just stalled out here. At some point, though, well, we're gonna head into the initial balance being formed in the next 4 minutes, and if it does a failed breakout of the IB high, that might be a good fade, but I don't think I'll take that one. This trend is pretty nice to the upside, but the regime calls for a mean reversion fade. The only thing is that when the Nasdaq is in this environment, this little parabolic rally, it doesn't stop. So it's kind of hard to fade when you have the Nasdaq performing like that. Yeah, there's the NQ making new initial balance high. Thank you. Second that. You're back. Nice. Second that. Wait, second what? Then bless you. Oh, on the coffee. What time is it there, FH? You're in London, right? So isn't it like midday or late noon? It looks like it's gonna be a failed breakout there. You just need NQ to kind of align with that, but it looks like a failed breakout setup here back below. I'm already cleared and sold, so I'm just chilling. It's 3:30? Ah, not bad. 50. What do you drink for your coffee? FH and Frank. What are you guys having? Just black coffee, espresso, cold brew. What is it? What other variations of this are there? Oh. What are the other variations of this? Cold French press. What else you got? Black coffee? Alright. Dang. Got some men in the house. Not been in the shops for my espresso. Gotcha. Black coffee. Today, huh? Hey man, I'm just glad I didn't hear like Frappuccino or something. That's all. NQ's hitting a supplier right here. What do you drink, Rick? I drink Celsius in the morning. Kind of like crackhead vibes, you know? Sometimes I'll drink coffee, but most times it's Celsius. The flavored, yeah. It's an energy drink, exactly. It's an energy drink. I think it has like 200 milligrams of caffeine. What does it have? 200 milligrams of caffeine. I like the thing is I lose track of how much I've drank. There's been numerous times I took it too far. Oh shit, I cannot imagine the feeling, dude. How much? I guess every person's tolerance is a little different. How much is too much? I mean, do you even know? Do you even know? Oh, you have 2, 3. Oh shoot. I've had too much too in a few instances, but you know the thing is, like when I get too wired from the caffeine, I get quiet. I like shut down. Kind of crazy. I think 500 milligrams is my breaking point. No way. Before I start peeping at them. I think there's the fade. I think this is the fade right here, the failed breakout. I closed it because I closed along because the journal or my report says I should be closing at the call walls, which is at 38, so I close it there. Close the last contract right there at 38, 37. I think I'm just gonna watch for now. I do see the setup for a failed breakout, you know, back to about the overnight high. So this could come down about, I don't know, like 20 points, give or take. A few points. I think if we lose 31, it's no good. 31, yeah. Is it 31? Yeah, about 30, 30-ish, yeah. Anywhere below RTH VWAP, I guess. Momentum dies down, I would say, if it gets below the RTH VWAP. NQ is also hitting a supply area. So I think that also plays a role there. Where is it? Yeah. Hitting this big zone right here. The massive level isn't until we hit up here. This is a massive area, 28k 600. That level is massive, massive. If we can hold above it, amazing. If it tests it from above, I do not want to be long that. Or test it from below, sorry. I do not want to be long that unless you have a good cost basis. The raw report. Oh. Yeah. There's sellers there. I mean, they're passively there. There was someone there, and then he went. He left. Speed of tape is dying off. It is. Yeah, I have it open really small on my screen, and it's certainly died out completely. You can see. Today? Did you go start it? Oh, it's tapering off the momentum, so I agree. Yeah. Who is this boov? You ever seen FH or anyone, I guess, I don't know, at Frank 2? Have you guys seen the movie Home? Yeah, there's a lot of buy-side delta still printing, bro. These guys are massively... What is it about? It's about aliens coming into Earth by accident, needing to survive. The kids' movie. And in there, they're called boovs. So they call each other. They're all boobs. All the name, everyone's. It's a British. I don't think so. Is that British term? So they all call each other boov. So like, there's no FH and there's no Rick. Everyone's just the same name, boov. They all have the same name. So it's kind of funny because there's a scene where he says, "Who is this boov?" I don't know why it's so funny. Where's that report at? Yeah, watch trailer. It's pretty. I think it's a great movie, honestly. I'm trying to look for a report that I run. So how do you run Sierra chart on your Mac? Do you run parallels or how do you do it? Does Sierra have a Mac version? Parallels? It's identical? Okay. Yeah, it seems like the most common way. Clean as hell. It pretty much runs like a Windows operating system, right? Within like an icon. It's not clean on ATS? No way. Why does ATS maybe... The thing is, like, Sierra... Look, let's check it out. Sierra runs very lean, dude. It's amazing. Looking at my compute, most of my compute is being used for Google Chrome and Claude. It's my majority of my memory. In Thinkorswim, I only have 2 charts open on Thinkorswim, and it runs more than the 4 instances I have on Sierra chart. Yeah, it's really GPU friendly. It's like amazing because I have 4 instances open. You see a little 4? 4 different instances open. All of them have about 2 different, a lot of charts. And it only runs way less than whatever the hell, even Jigsaw. Jigsaw, I have 1 DOM open. And it runs the same amount of GPU than Sierra having 4 different instances. It's a very efficient system. A very efficient system, honestly. I can only imagine what ATAS and the others do. Just given that comparison between 3 different platforms. It's really intensive. I mean, Google Chrome runs harder than freaking Sierra. Yeah, the infrastructure for sure. Dude, where is that report at? Am I missing something? Man, I can't find it. Let me see. Can you? Yeah, they built out some more buy-side volume here, momentum, and the speed of tape here in the last few minutes. I personally think that they could do a failed breakout of the IB high. But higher time frame, this looks pretty solid. I mean, we have a pretty nice failed breakdown of this level right here. Right there. Took a while to build out, but yeah. And now it's reclaiming here. Pretty good structure up to the upside after multiple breakdowns. We've had a series of breakdowns, you know. Breakdown, breakdown. And then this is the first, at least right now, the cleanest looking failed breakdown of a higher time frame. Right here. So assuming that at the minimum we hold this value right here on any dips, or even here on any dips, and we continue to work our way into the 70 area. And then from 70, we can come back into 46. And then from 46, then we can come back into 600. Level to level, but so far, all these things are what have to hold ad spending, yeah. Like I'm saying, like I don't think it makes sense to be long, especially when the regime says do not be. I'm gonna respect whatever my regime says, because overall it's been on point. On Friday, we had a massive move up, and the regime said there's pinning action, don't hold runners. At the end of the day, we closed right where we opened. So it was right. It said don't hold runners. Yeah, this is, look, let's go back to that day, because it's very impressive what this thing has been able to do so far. Let's go back to Friday. Here it is. So right here, watch, where's 24? Right here. So let me erase all these. Let me just, there you go. Says here. I guess I'll have to remove all the drawings. So right here, the regime on the journal says, couldn't yeah, I mean, neither, man. Says here, bank fast, heavy pinning, dealers fade every stretch, and price reverts to big strikes. Bank into the walls, take profits quickly, don't chase breakouts below flip. It's giving you context. So, it said that, and then this was on Friday, and then you have, says, so clearly says bank on walls, right? It says here every stretch, bank into the walls, meaning close position into the walls. Well, here's the wall. All wall right here. This is where we opened this day. Price hit the wall and then ended the day right at the open. I mean, look, you know, that's what it said. It said this pre-market. This report gets generated before the market opens, like, or a little bit into the open, I should say. I'm not. So the report gets posted. You know, it tells you not to do that, not to hold the trade. It's telling you not to, and it's telling you to close the trade into the call wall because there's pinning action. And a few hours later, it just exactly what it said in the morning. I mean, come on. So that report, that's the reason I closed my long here at the call wall, because more often than not, it's probably going to be right. And I would rather not assume against it. So far, yeah, I went a little higher than where I sold it. Think about what, 8 points higher than where I sold the last contract, but I think at the end of the day, I will not regret having sold where I did. And this is the part of the trading that really helps pinpoint like scale zones, you know, where when should you hold, when should you scale, when should you not shoot for the moon, you know. And those regimes really dictate that, I think. And that when the regime is going to say, hey, today's a regime where you can hold a trend move, then I will hold the trend move. That's the whole point of it, is sometimes we can be greedy. Yeah, that's the thing. You got to be objective. Yeah, exactly. And these reports and this software that I've developed helps me be objective, so that I'm not expecting more than what the market is capable of giving. Like, those sellers are coming in, bro. Look at that. You're right. They broke below 31 and this accelerated right below it. FH. Right below that RTH VWAP. Things are accelerating now to the downside. And it hit the supply zone perfect. Look at this, FH. Look at that. And you see that 15-minute supply that I gave? It hit it perfectly. And then back down. I think that indicator I gave you, you're going to enjoy. If I'm going to tweak it, but eventually, you know, I think it'll be a good reference area. The perfect supply area. I've been tweaking it for a few weeks, so it'll take some time. But nonetheless, I think it'll be a great one for references, you know. Yeah, it says I think they're banging. They could get run over. I think so. I mean, if they can reclaim the VWAP, man, you know, that's definitely a good sign. But I just don't see the risk to reward with the NQ being. It's hard to long here. It's similar to yesterday, where I was saying like, it doesn't make sense to be aggressively short into the 400s. Now they did take it a little lower. They eventually got squeezed out later in the day. But it just makes no sense to be aggressively long from a value perspective when the NQ is right at the value high for the week. It makes no sense risk to reward to be going long here aggressively. How they're trying to right now on the tape. It makes no sense. It's a bad location. Whoa, I almost fell in my chair. Shit. Alright, momentum has died, yeah. Yeah, I mean, the momentum has died for one, and then the risk to reward is probably the big thing. So I just, yeah, like I'm starting to see like the tape and some participants, I just don't understand them. You know, like I mean, yesterday I was saying the same thing, but they did break 400s. I guess they did get rewarded on their risk. But just below that, like 20 points lower, 380s, 375, they ripped it right after. So that fuel to rip higher, I mean, these sellers that were aggressively hitting the offer at 400s, they probably ripped, they're the reasons the price ripped into 420s right after it reclaimed yesterday. So I don't know, today it could be like the reason we probably fail here at the 20s is probably all these aggressive bids are going to capitulate. You're getting some of it right now. It looks like the Delta 600 at 420 exactly. It's only accelerating. You know, it's just like bad location. Like it makes no sense. Why would they do that? My max 7, but you bought it when it's fine. You know what's gonna be good, FH? That you gave this one, the speed of tape as we approach like an initial balance high or initial balance low. Typically, if it takes it out during a midday lull, like maybe 8 or 9 or my time, so let's just say 1 hour from now, 2 hours from now, during the New York lunch, gives better context. During that New York lunch, and you have the speed of tape just kind of fading out, it's a perfect fade against it. I mean, not just the fade, it's not because it's for the sake of fading a move, but it's a good reference to draw a conclusion if you have a reversal point there to fade the initial balance high pop, essentially fading the breakout while the speed of tape is actually dying down, right? Because in a speed of tape you need to have momentum, I would assume, and since this quantifier like actually tracks the speed of tape from in a very objective way, it might be helpful for those setups to be looking at it for those fades of those edges. It makes me think, are they 600 to shore? Are they just retarded? I don't know. I don't know. Same for longs. Yeah, exactly. The speed of tape dies could be helpful for brace for a squeeze. 100%. 100%. I agree. Yeah, they just added fuel to the move. Yeah. Yeah, they did. Thank you. Yeah, because 600 lots is a massive notional. It's massive notional if you think about it. Like to fill 600 lots, how much is that? How much is 600 ES lots notional value? The notional value of that is 220 million. TP right here, it's a good trade, honestly. That breakdown was a clean setup. And you called it. You said it, you know, earlier, like 31, below 31, it definitely can come down. So just to put into context, like that 600 lot right here at 420, that one order that came in was 220 million notional risk. That is shit. Look, yeah, that's what makes me wonder, like, why? What happened there? And yesterday too, as well, it didn't make a lot of sense. Like they had a, I think like a 1300 contract seller. I'm assuming it was a seller because it was filled net negative and it was stalling the ladder. And it was 1200 lots or maybe more. That's like half a billion in notional at that level. It was like at 405 or 409. I don't remember the level exactly. It was like near the low of the day. Like, what is that location? Like, there's something else going on. Could be market making, like you're saying. I think that would make the most sense than position trading, because otherwise it really doesn't make any sense, honestly. Yeah, it's got to be market making. I mean, I'll truly never understand the intent, nor do I really think I need to. At least for what I do, but just at glance, it doesn't make any sense. This is a breakdown, failed hold of the Valor low for the current session and coming down lower to VWAP, probably 403, and then see if they tap into the IBL. So there you go. See, look, the regime said scale at the walls. And God bless that thing, right? Because look at, we're back down lower 20 points now. Yeah, he took PP right at the highest. Yeah, dude. But then again, like, here's the thing. I know had I not had the regime, that software would have got a short entry. I like the short too, and I just couldn't take it. Like, I personally just couldn't take on that risk. But I did see the setup. I just personally could not take it, so I didn't. But had I not had the regime, I probably would have still been holding a runner right now for the rest of the session and got trailed out here at the IBL on that runner. Because typically that's what I would do. I would hold a runner for the rest of the day. You know, let the structure pan out for the day and see where the chips fall, more or less. Sometimes it would trend and it would work in my favor. Sometimes it wouldn't, and I would get trailed down on the runner. And this would be one of those instances where maybe I would have gone trail down that runner because I didn't have that filter, right? That regime filter that tells me objectively, hey, don't have a runner today. The regime doesn't call for it. Just scale at the wall. A really useful tool. You know, you couple that with the supply and areas and stuff. You know, it's a good combination of stuff that I really can't miss. I love it. Yeah, man. All right. Cool. This morning? No, this morning? No. All right. Hey, you can't leave yet. I need you here. Mm. Is it melted or what? Bye. Go. Hey, you can't wear that. Hmm? Mm-hmm. Is that where the what level is that on the NQ? Love you. Bye. Yeah. Yeah, I know. I know. No curtains today. They are. Inward. There's variations of them. Okay. Bye. I love you too. 210-ish. Oh, okay. So right by the Valley High. There's a lot of confluences there. I mean, dang, dude. There's a lot of confluences on that area. I mean, there was that options level you gave. You know, I think you referenced it early. 890 or so. Mine's a little bit higher. At the 8, what? Like 8, the 110, 120. There's that Valley High at 202. And then that supply zone right above that at 230, 240. So it's a brick wall. You know, it's a brick wall of supply or a confluence of different indicators that are all stacked right there. Yeah, those are great because they go well with your outfit. Black. Mm-hmm. Higher time. Yeah, that's again, that goes back into like who is buying up there, you know, like when they're feeling all that momentum to the upside, like what are they feel, who is buying that amount of volume in that location? You know, because it's a huge wall. So my assumption is like it's breakout oriented price action that they're betting on. It's hard. Like I don't know. It's and that makes for bad. I mean, whoever's doing it, being aware of it is within itself valuable as a trader because you're like, this is just terrible location. You're gonna have to puke out your position, bro. Like you're gonna capitulate. So you can bet against that, right? That momentum. Because the risk to reward, the structural like supply and the location, it just makes no sense. So shorting against those position players is the easiest trade to make. Because you understand that they're gonna get trapped. They're gonna get stuck. And they'll eventually have to puke out that position. What's the VIX at today? 19. Okay, not too bad. This is like I feel like 19 is like the sweet spot. Like 18, 19 is like the sweet spot for the S&P. Where it's not too much volatility. You get enough movement. Must have been something they thought when worth the bet, I assume. Yeah, I'm assuming. Could be a hedge too, yeah. I mean, it could be a multitude of things. Definitely a multitude of things. It's hard to know for sure at any given time. Hello? Oh shoot. Do you want the mouse thing on it? Enter this one. Running back. That was wrong is. The data is in a the time frame's too high. No, it's the time frame that I'm have it on is too high. I need to lower it. Okay. Yeah. I was running back and I was thinking about something and I was like, oh, that's why. Yeah. I love you too. Bye. Must have been something they thought was worth. Yeah, nice. Where there's the IBL, I took it out. Okay. All right, let's see. Initial position. Uh, I'm a fan of today's. Yeah, it's good. Like again, I think this is the sweet spot for the VIX, the regime. It's like you get both sides. I'm kind of glad it's slowly moving out of summer. Oh yeah, dude. I mean, fuck. From I think from like late May to like even to this week, the last couple weeks, it's like the worst period to be trading. Most summers, not all summers, but most of them. There's a few summers where that has been not the case. You know, one of them was when we had that yen carry trade 2 years ago. I think last year was kind of momentum because of that whole tariff stuff. So there's like upside drift, but most summers, including this one, has been so painful and chop. I may take July off. Yeah, I mean, in most instances, makes sense. December, I don't know how December this year would play out, but last December's utter hell. Yeah, it was it was messy. Let me see. I think I can go back and look at it right now. It was, I mean, the mess was really the whole beginning of the year too. I mean, we look at this. All of the beginning of the year was choppy. You know, it was like from January, probably December. I don't know. I haven't gone that far back. I can't. It was like January through about March. Yeah, March, and then we finally broke down. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. You lever too much if the move make you nauseous. Wow, that's a good quote. Let's get right into it. So let it ride. Do, 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 do. Am I mad? It's just passion. Ooh. I want to talk a lot. They rejected the opening price. So far, yeah, man. They're holding it. They're holding it from below. That's not good. No good. I think it's mainly the Dow. I don't know what's weak on the Dow, but that's a lot of the weakness I assume is coming from the S&P, because the chips are up 3. What stocks ETF's up 7%, almost 8, and then the Max 7 as a collective are up 2.13. So let's look at the Dow and see what's going on here. So yeah, you got a lot of value consumer staples. So rotation, pretty much. There's a rotation now happening in the opposite direction. So they're rotating out of Dow and into tech. You can clearly see Amazon's up 4.5. Geez, why? It didn't even report. Tesla's trying to recover. Chippies are all having quite the day after their slump. Microsoft, Dell, GEV. Some of these are pretty good. GEV is up 7%. My oh my. Isn't this Vertiv? Isn't this a data center? 3M, Caterpillar, Boeing. I like the stock. Let's see. Yeah, there's like a rotation going on. I don't find macro. Honestly, there's a time and place for it. I just don't think. I think it plays a role in like maybe positioning, you know, over a long period of time. I would say quarterly basis, from a quarter over quarter basis. But the only thing I think it is important to know is when there's downside risk because of over leveraging in other markets that's unwounding. And that's been the only theme that I know has, throughout my history of trading, has it ever been relevant. For example, in 2016, Greece was going through a liquidity event with their bonds and everything, and it was affecting the US markets. We were gapping down only during the overnight. Does that make... Okay, here's one. That's one example. Overnight gap downs during that liquidity event. Here's the other one. And it's the most recent one. There's other ones in between. I'm not going to mention them, just so it makes more sense. 2 years ago, yen carry trade unwind. Gap down, gap down, gap down. Massive gap downs. When was it? Overnight on the S&P or the future or the US market or the United States market. This whole move down since late June, the gap downs have happened during the overnight. Why? South Korea. Those are 3 instances in less than 10 years where those liquidity events have affected the price of the S&P, or even the Nasdaq for that matter, US markets, that have resulted in gap downs and volatility. I think that's the only macro outlier that matters, is being just aware of the global connection and liquidity events happening in other markets around the world, because they seep into the US, right? Like they start to affect the US futures that we trade. I think that's the only thing that's been valuable day over day as an intraday trader or 1 to 2 day swing day trader or so, is understanding the events that affect the S&P during the overnight. Because most of the overnight selling happens when those liquidity events are happening around the world. Yeah, they traded overnight, yeah. Yeah, there were, I mean, look, if you recall, there's a massive breakdown. I missed it, but this is a massive breakdown that happened overnight. This day right here, because of that Kospi, because of the Korean exchange. This one too. I remember this one. It was because of the Kospi, the chips getting sold off. They're having a liquidation event, margin calls. Most of the breakdowns that have happened have been as a result of that. The earlier in the year, I mean, it was like the Iran war stuff that was a little different, but yeah. If you go back, there was one in Greece too that, and let me see, Google it. Greece banking or crisis year. The government debt crisis in Greece. See, watch. It's happened a few times. Well, here it is. The one I remember, because this is when I was trading, was 2018. Financial bailout program Greece concluded through the economic recovery efforts. This in 2018 was causing the same problem to the US markets during this time. The one in 2018. I guess they've had multiple ones. I had no idea. I only know of this one because this is the one when I was starting to trade. This was something that was circulating a lot at the time. And then we had the yen carry trade unwind in 2024, and that created some turbulence in July, August, right? And then we have this year, right? And that created turbulence. If you were trading 2 years ago, you saw it. And then this year we have the Kospi trading turbulence. You know, I think they just like, they just had one of their biggest falls historically. I think they had like a 20% down day. Look at this. 32% from the highs from June. And that's affecting the US markets. So I think it being aware of them definitely helps. Very some homework to do over the weekend. Was never a school educated type of guy, but when it comes to finance, I'm all in. Yeah, me too. Me too, honestly. It's fun. You know, it's fun for me. Look, you know what? There's this great interview. I think if you want to watch it at some point, watch it passively. I mean, it's not something you have to be watching intentively. It's there's this documentary on Paul Tudor Jones, and he talks about why he loves trading so much, and like it resonates. Let me see. Paul Tudor, and honestly, like I watch their interviews a lot. Like if he interviews him and Steven or is it Stanley Druckenmiller? Those are probably the two best traders that I listen to religiously. Stanley Druckenmiller and Paul Tudor Jones are probably the best two traders that I listen to religiously. And this interview here, when he's younger, if you watch this one, he talks about like trading and stuff. That's what he's doing mainly at the time. Now he does more investing, but I'm gonna watch it as this one. I'm not sure if the link copies over, but yeah, Paul Tudor Jones, him and Stanley Druckenmiller, those are guys I listen to often. They have great, honestly, they give such great nuggets of information on how they view markets and how they invest or trade. I mean, they mainly trade, but it's great. Yeah, you can watch it. I mean, you can listen to it. It's not one you really, there's nothing visually appealing for the video. It's like a lot of just him talking most of the time in different scenes. Like if you can listen to it passively, it's probably your best bet. But if you want to watch, it's also cool. It's a good one. It's funny because the video takes place in the 80s, and he's showing a trade that he's doing backtested data. he's doing backtested data from the 20s, and he's overlaying it over the 80s, and he's investing or trading based on that data. I'm like, how does this motherfucker have like 1,000 points of data in the 80s? How did you get that data? What the like, I'm struggling to get it now, and it's like freaking 2026. In the 80s, that guy was pulling data from like 50 years prior and overlaying it into the current environment 70 years later and trading based on that. I'm like, how's he doing that? You'll see in the video that he's outlining, he's teeing up a trade where he's saying how like he's long based on the overlay or the similarities in historical data from the 20s. And he's like planning for, most of these guys are proper data used. Yeah. I didn't realize that. I mean, Stanley Druckenmiller, I feel like he's more like, from what he says, I don't know how he actually operates. From what he has said, he mainly goes fundamental / like, yeah, fundamental and macro for Stanley Druckenmiller. But Paul Tudor, at least in the videos from the 80s, he mainly goes technical on data. But different ways to trade, I guess. Is that a burp massive? Oh, a reversal, nice little hold there of the IB. The speed. So this is an instance where maybe referencing the speed of tape might have worked here, as we hit the IB low. It kind of was dwindling down. They got some momentum on the first push, came back lower right here on the second test, and then quickly pushed back above. So that momentum, the fact that there was no follow through on sell side tape or speed of tape, sell side after that, was probably a good indication to go long, right? Like there was no, it came into VWAP structurally. That's a spot sellers want to hold against, and then as they go lower, they want to press. There is nothing present there. Right here. Yeah, it completely went flatlined in an area where it should have sped up, right? Like it should have sped up right here as it was going. Should have done something like this, and it didn't. So, I mean, I'm not saying it's a reversal trade for sure. You know, back to the mean VWAP. I don't know if it holds or not. That's the question, but that's why I like to scale. Because right now there is buying, but we'll see if it results in anything. You can probably add like a custom indicator where if price probes below an IB or whatever structural area, and you have that like you have that speed of tape divergence, you can make the candles highlight on your chart. so that way you don't have to keep track of it. It might be something I do later, incorporate that, have that divergence kind of pop up on the screen or highlight the candle. Kind of just kind of gives you like an overview, like, oh, there's a divergence there. Yeah, I'll probably run that, but it's a great add-on, you know. That way, because honestly, keeping track of the speed of tape while watching everything else, at least for me, because I have it on a screen right above, like above my monitor. It's there, I can reference it, but I'm not staring at it. I think it's one of those things that keeping a close eye is definitely important. Speed of tape's not really pushing higher, but momentum on the tape is on the DOM is continuing. I have this journal that I've been developing. I'm just waiting to release it. It's obviously a lot still to release. Pretty good dashboard. Let's zoom out a little bit. There we go. This will be the full journal you'll get once I release it. A little calendar here. The session P&L. It'll have a trades, how many trades you've taken. It'll kind of warn you if you take too many trades. The loss limit warn you as well. I like the fact that it has like a snapshot of your last session, your rolling period sessions, like your best and weakest setups. You do have to actually track your trades though in order for that to work. You have to label them. Yeah, the interface is pretty clean. It took me a while to get it like this. I'm working on getting it completely released, but this is the important part, is actually end of day review, like actually adding your trades to review, because this collects data and gives you feedback based on that data. You know, the information on this journal is only as good as you give it. Tracking your trades is one, but tagging them actually is the most important part of it all. I still need to fix the prop desk. This one doesn't actually properly work because there's no violation here. Max drawdown limit has not been hit. The adherence to 1-to-1 is definitely not been hit. Like, this is still needs to be tweaked because there's something wrong here. Yeah. This will be part of the journal as it gets finalized, but I realize people who do code and stuff like that, like build software, I mean, it's a lot of work. My hats off to them, dude. It's a lot of work to do this. I'm not even doing all the work, so to speak, you know? And it's a lot. Okay, let's update the build here. Yeah, it's amazing. I'm very impressed with Claude. I mean, it helped me design a whole website and a bunch of other stuff. It's amazing. Amazing. Another 1,000 lots right there at 422. My oh my, momentum is building up there. Huh. Let's see. Let's see if I do this. Wait, this is the wrong one. I gotta do this one. That was quite a neat reversal they did there, right off the IB. I didn't expect it so soon, but that divergence definitely played out there. I honestly think that speed of tape is going to come in clutch at some point. I want to incorporate it so I can use it a little more passively. Right there, it definitely, that was more than what I expected it would do. You had the IB low right here. No speed of tape breaking it down, then reversal back to the upside. A delta divergence, I guess you can call it. Look at that, it's already up, like 20 points from there? 25? No, 20 points. Let's just say 405 was the level. Massive. Might move the text to be left aligned, maybe. Because right here it's in the way. Maybe move the text to be aligned over here. Would be best. But it's not in the way. Anyway, pretty nice hole. I'm surprised. I would love to have seen it go a little deeper, and I would like to try a small long. So anywhere here, really, the 93. This whole area is pretty good. I like it. There's a lot of confluence there. You can clearly see on my chart. I have a support area right here. There's a confluence of different areas. There's the current week value low, prior value low, the overnight value low. There's 3 different layers of value low there. Which to me is very important. There's multiple time frames at play there. Overnight, yesterday, and weekly. Well, you guys, I'm gonna bounce. Oh, head out. Thanks for hanging out, FH. And Frank, if you're here, I'll see you guys. I'll be back tomorrow. Have a good rest of your day, guys.